The actual initial story of how the Mary from Dungloe, how it all how it all began, and why it began. You can share that maybe now, Máire.
Yeah. Well, there's maybe a few different stories, but the main story that comes out there is that this girl was born in a place called Leitrim. It's between Dungloe and where I came from. It's about 4 miles outside Dungloe, and her mum died when she was about 2 or 3 years of age. She was the youngest of 5. They reckon when she grew up, she was like 6 foot tall at a very young age. They reckon she was really, really beautiful. You know, all the boys fancied her. She must be a very intelligent girl, got great reports from the school teachers. Like, she was one of these that just stood out. She was kind to everybody. And they had a little shop out in Leitrim. Her dad and her aunt came to live with them as well when the mum died. And then I think when she was about 14, she had to go to work in Dungloe. And there she met an RIC soldier. He was based, I think, here in Burtonport. And her mum actually came from Meanmore, and the father came from out in Leitrim. And she fell in love with this boy, and the two of them were really, really, cared for each other so much. And then he wanted to marry her. So he went to the father. Now, the father liked the boy, but people had come to him saying, I don't think it's a good idea for her to marry this soldier, because he was an RIC soldier. So the father refused the marriage to happen, and he left the soldier because he was brokenhearted. And then, of course, Mary was brokenhearted. And then she went away to New Zealand. Her brother was already out there, and she moved to New Zealand then because she was brokenhearted. And she met a guy on the boat from County Clare. They kind of kept in touch when they got out there, and then they've married within a year. She had a wee boy, and after the boy was maybe a few months old, Mary herself passed away. I think she was only 19. And then a few months later, little boy died too.
Sorry.
Yeah. Now, they don't know where the Clare man went. He kind of went into oblivion. I suppose nobody paid, no questioned where he went or whatever, or no connections that time. So it was a very sad story. It was a love story. It was a true love story. And there was a stonemason out in Tully called Paddy McCole, and his pen name was Finn McCole. And he wrote a song, they reckon a 13-verse epic of the story, this love story, because he thought it just made a great story. And they put their own air to it. I don't know what was there, some old air that was there. And this passed on kind of through the years, through the decades. And then the school teacher in Ranafast kind of edited it. And then Emma Spiceland came across the song, and then they probably penned it differently and put their own air to it. And that's what we have today. And from that song then came a festival. I think Gay Byrne and Daniel John James and those were at a meeting in Sweeney's Hotel, and they thought, why don't we start a festival in honour of this? And because of this love story, we now have the Mary From Dungloe Festival.